As a way to show their appreciation, some are using a social media page to give a little extra love for those on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. Not much is changing in the governor's Safer at Home order other than requiring people to wear one of these for an additional 5 weeks. Every year here around Mardi Gras Park, the streets are lined with people and floats. But next year, what is that going to look like amid the coronavirus pandemic?
Nicolette Schleisman has been following this story and joins us now live in the studio with more on what Dr. Harris is saying and what Mayor Sandy Stimson has to say. Nicolette?
Yeah, that's right. And while the good times are on hold for now, the mayor is still hopeful to have some kind of celebration held in the birthplace of Mardi Gras. In the meantime, he's taking health officials' recommendations to heart.
You get a COVID test from the health department if you can't make it out tomorrow?
Well, yeah, that's exactly right, Amber. This testing event tomorrow is partially also to raise awareness that they are offering COVID-19 testing Monday through Friday. All you have to do is call and book an appointment. The Medical Society of Mobile County will be speaking tonight with pastors from across the county from minority churches. More than 50 pastors have been invited to discuss COVID-19 vaccines and vaccine hesitancy. 5 employees were among the first to be inoculated in Mobile County right here at University Hospital. We have less than an hour before those polls close. What are those voter numbers looking like? This election saw the most voters come out in 12 years. The old record was set in 2008. The majority of Dauphin Street is included in that entertainment district from right here in Cathedral Square all the way down to the Mobile River and even Mardi Gras Park. You can see behind me the statue of Admiral Raphael Semmes is no longer sitting here in downtown Mobile. Do you have anything you want to say to the family?
I don't know him.
It was actually in the middle of my last live shot. I was looking around as I was talking, and I started to realize that the parking lot had flooded 5 minutes before. It wasn't like that. This water is moving so quickly. Now where we are right now, we're about 8 miles north, and I've seen cars slowly driving over the Bayway because these winds are so strong. I'm going to step out of the frame so you can kind of see what we're looking at here at Cafe Del Rio. This sign that is just behind us, it has been moving in this storm. Those winds are pushing it. Actually, some of the lights just went out about 10 minutes ago. It was all lit up, but then just a couple of minutes ago, all the lights went out. We're seeing that sideways rain that you guys are talking about, those strong wind gusts. Where we're standing, we're mostly sheltered from a big portion of those gusts, but we have gone out and kind of gotten in there and seen just how strong they are, and they are very strong. I was kind of knocked back a little bit once when I went out there just to kind of see what everything was going over there. We've also seen a lot of transformers flashing around this area, but what's really remarkable is that we still have power. This is something that I was not expecting throughout this storm today, that we would have power this long. We've been here since about 1 o'clock this morning. Power has not gone out. It's flickered maybe once or twice, but for the majority, it has stayed on, except for this sign that has lost a little bit of power there, or some of their lights there. Not sure if that's from it being rocked back and forth or what's going on, but you can see it's just moving with these wind gusts as they continue to just hammer us here. It's been, pretty much consistently like this since about 2 o'clock this morning. I know I talked earlier about this hum. This hum has gotten louder out here. It now sounds a little bit more like a roar almost, but it's not quite a roar. It's in between a hum and a roar. Many have cleaned up after the storm, but these piles can be seen throughout the city of Mobile, a lingering reminder of Hurricane Sally and an unwanted sight of the past as they try to move forward. 3 of the 5 complexes that have major damage and are vacating its residents are low-income housing. That's according to Family Promise, an organization that helps homeless families with children in Baldwin County.
Where are we going to go?
At the Savannah Park Apartments, Annette Thomas and Ethel Houston both are trying to figure out what to do.
Me and my husband is totally disabled.
The 2 women got a letter from their complex on Thursday.
I'm so nervous I can't hardly open it up.
Saying they had until October 1st to vacate their homes because of damage sustained by Hurricane Sally.
All the motels is booked up, all the apartments. You can't afford them.
Neither has found a place to stay.
Unfortunately, our housing stock for affordable housing is already low in Baldwin County.
Family Promise of Baldwin County, along with other organizations across the county, are trying to find creative ways to help those displaced.
We are going to have an emergency meeting with our churches, a Zoom meeting, to see how many of our churches are willing to open up emergency shelters for 2 weeks.
They're not the only ones.
We need people to know these people need help. They're being asked to leave. They have no resources to do that.
Rachel Kinsey and Cecilia Jones didn't know each other before Sally, but are now helping as many people as they can find shelter and move.
We're just two moms. I mean,
Yeah,
we're just two moms.
overwhelmed.
And they're now asking others to help too.
There's no one to get them any shelter, and that's what we need the most.
Thomas and Houston are trying to remain hopeful.
I know you can't give up, but we just don't have nowhere to go. What are we going to do?
God is going to provide for us.
Some are hoping FEMA will enact its hotel voucher program, helping those displaced while they find another place to stay. In Baldwin County, Nicolette Schleisman, WKRG News 5. Crews have been here throughout the day going through that crash site, and they'll continue to be here all night as this investigation continues.
It sounded like a plane flying really low, but it was real quick and real loud, and then you felt heard a big thump, and you could feel the house shake.
Andy Price was at home around 4:20 Friday afternoon when he heard something outside.
As soon as I get outside, it's right across the street. It was pretty much already engulfed. It was in flames.
A Navy trainer aircraft crashed into the front yard of the home across the street from him.
It was on fire. Everything was on fire. The house, the cars, the whole plane.
The area around his home is blocked off as Navy officials continue to investigate. We spoke with him via video chat.
But yeah, they pretty much got the neighborhood blocked off.
Kenny Fowler and his family live behind the home. His wife and children had gotten home less than 10 minutes before the crash.
Heard a massive boom, actually heard a sound, and then it sounded like a loud car crash, according to them. Came out and just saw black smoke billowing, yards from the house, really.
According to the Navy, 2 crew members died while on a routine training flight. The Navy says they were an instructor pilot and a student aviator. Their names have not yet been released. The plane took off from Whiting Field in Milton. Crews continue to piece together what went wrong.
You know, this area, he's within 100 feet of 6 or 7 houses. For that plane to land where it did is pretty much a miracle.
And the Navy is asking anyone who may have any videos or pictures of that aircraft in the air in flight to contact the number that you see on your screen. If you have any other information, also contact that number. And if you have any debris in your yard, you're asked not to touch it, and also call that number. Reporting live in Baldwin County, Nicolette Schleisman, WKRG News 5.
So if you'll follow me now.
As Christy Mason prepared for the school year starting without her students in the classroom,
I just felt so lonely, and it was kind of sad knowing my students weren't going to be here with me.
Miss Mason, you're breaking up.
She knew she wanted to somehow bring them to school anyways.
Then I went ahead and assigned them a seat.
Mason and Brightling Elementary School's librarian printed out pictures of each of her students, put them in their seats with the name tag.
I was also concerned would I be able to get to know them and learn their faces and their names just online.
On the first day, she showed her kids.
Any questions?
That even if they were home,
I just wanted my students to know that even though they're not here, they're in my heart and that they're thought of every day. And that I miss them. I wish that they were here with me.
They have a place in her homeroom.
They absolutely love knowing that they already have a place here.
Mason says it makes her feel more connected to them.
Thank you, David. I saw yours.
But it's still not the same.
We're used to so much activity. And just hearing the hustle and bustle in the classroom and outside the hallway. I can put students in here, but it doesn't kind of cover that gap in that aspect of it.
And as Mobile County Public Schools begin a phased return to the classroom next week, she says she'll leave up any of her children who opt to continue remote learning.
My online kids are still going to be loved and get just as much attention as my at-school kids.
In Grand Bay, Nicolette Schleisman, WKRG News 5.